Hello friends, welcome back to the Project Pathshala YouTube channel. I hope you are doing great and I have seen my previous video on layouts in Android where I have covered almost all types of layouts used in Android development. If you haven't seen it, then click the link above or find the link in the description. Now from today's video we will be continuing with our online teaching app, and now onwards we will create an OTP verification based login system using Firebase for our app. We will complete this in 4 steps. First, creating a login screen. Second, creating an OTP verification screen. Third, connecting the project to Firebase. Fourth, implementing Firebase authentication. For this video, we will complete the first step, which is creating a login screen for our app. Now let's see the demo of login screen. This is the login screen, and here in this edit text, we enter the mobile number. Now if you don't enter the number and click on get OTP button, then it posts a message, mobile number not found. Or if we enter a number which is not a mobile number, then it posts a message, invalid number. When the entered mobile number is correct, then only we will be redirected to the new activity. So this was the demo of login screen. Now without wasting time, let's start creating a login screen. Now we will be using this image as a reference for creating our login interface, and we will be creating the login interface using the linear layout. So let's change the layout to linear layout. Now we will add some properties in this linear layout. We'll give the gravity to center. Then we will give the orientation to vertical, because as you can see in this image, all the elements are aligned vertically, and background white. Now we will add this first text. For that, let's create a text view. The width will be wrap content and height will be wrap content. We'll give the text become our student. Now here you can see this line is giving some warning. This warning is because whenever we use some text in any view, then the Android wants us to put that text into the string.xml file. The string.xml file is located inside this resource value folder here. If we don't put this text into the string.xml file, it is okay, but if we put the text into the string.xml, then it has a benefit that we can reuse that text anywhere in the project where we want. And let's add this text into string.xml file. Copy this text, double click on this string.xml file. Now here add a string, give any name. I will give name become student. As soon as I write the text, it shows some error. This error because while writing the name, we can't use the spaces. So instead of this space, we will use a underscore here. Now we'll paste our string here. So this is how we create our string, and we will use this string here. We have to type the name of the string, become student. So as you can see here, now here you can see the text. Now we have other simpler way to do this. First we will remove this string. Now to create a string, the other way is that we will type the text which we want, and then we click on this text and then press Alt plus Enter and click on extract string resource. We can change the name here, but I want to keep this name. Click OK. Now here you can see the warning has gone. Now let's add other properties also. Text size 25 sp, text style bold, text color black, layout margin bottom 50 dp. Close the text view. Now that we have created our first text as shown in the image, we will create the second text. For that, add another text view, width wrap content, height wrap content, text size 15 sp text. We will include this text also in string.xml. For that, click on this text, press Alt plus enter, click OK. Now add some other properties. Margin right 45 dp, margin left 45 dp, gravity center horizontal, text color black. Close the text view. Now that we have created the second text view as given in this image, now we will create this text and this input. And here in this image you can see that the +91 text and the edit text are positioned horizontally, but our layout orientation is vertical. So if we add these two views inside this layout, they will get arranged vertically. Therefore, after the second text view, we will add another linear layout. Width will be wrap content and height will be wrap content. Margin top 20 dp, margin bottom 20 dp. Now inside this linear layout we will create the +91 text view. So we will add a text view here. Width wrap content, height wrap content, text +91. We will add this text into the string file. Press Alt plus enter, click OK. Text style bold, text size 15 sp, text color black, margin end 10 dp, padding 5 dp. Close the text view. Now add the edit text. Width wrap content, height wrap content, hint. We'll give the hint enter number. We will add this text into string.xml file. Alt plus enter, OK. Input type. We can specify the input type. Just like if the input type is number, a number keyboard will open. If the input type is text, an alphabet keyboard is open. Similarly, based on input type, the different type of keyboard will open. Because we will give a mobile number as input, we will use the number as input type. Now we will give text hint color. We will give a gray color. We will choose the gray color from here. Now just like string.xml, we have color.xml file here. So we can also include this color code into this color.xml file, and the benefit of doing this will be that we can use that color frequently whenever we need in this project. So we'll include this color into the color.xml file. The process is same like including a text into the string.xml. Click on the color and then press Alt plus enter. Extract color resource and give the name of color here. I'm giving gray and then click OK. Now this color is added in the color.xml file as you can see here. Now we'll give padding start, padding top, padding bottom, we'll give the text color black, text size 15 sp, text style bold. Close the edit text. Now here you can see the views are placed horizontally. This is because in this linear layout we haven't specified the orientation, and we know that when we don't specify any orientation, then the default orientation is horizontal. That's why these views are arranged horizontally. Now we have created these views as shown in the image, but we don't see such borders in our view. The borders you see in the view is called creating a custom view, and we can do this customization for any view. Now let's see how to do this. Here in this resource folder, right click on drawable. From new, select the drawable resource file. We will first create the border for +91 text. Therefore, we will give the name border. Whenever we create a resource file, there are some rules for giving the name. Here, you cannot use the capital letter. As you can see, here error is coming. Also, you cannot start with number. Here you can see the resource name must start with letter. Also, you cannot give any symbol, as it is also not allowed here. So we will keep the name border. Now click on OK. Here we will take item. Inside this item we will take a shape. Here we will take a shape rectangle, and inside this shape we will add some properties. Here you can see different properties like size to change the size of view, corners to create the curve, solid to provide the color, strokes to give the border. So here we will use strokes for giving the border. We will give the width of 1 dp to the border, and color we will use the same color as we have used in the background of pre-splash screen. So click on this activity min.xml. Here you can see the background color. Put this color into the color.xml file. Press Alt plus Enter. Here we will give app_color. Okay. Now we will use this color in border.xml. Here we will give the color app color, and we will also give some radius to our corner of 5 dp. Now that we have created a border, we will include this border in this text view. To include the border, we will use background, and inside this background we will give the background border. Here you can see same border is created. Now we will make a border for edit text also. Right click on drawable, click new, and select drawable resource file. Here we will give number_border. Click OK. We will copy the properties of border.xml and paste it here in the number border. And here inside this shape we will add size, because we want to change the size of the mobile number border. We will give the width to 50 dp and height 20 dp. So the border will look like this, and then we will include this border in the edit text. Background, number border. Now here the views are looking exactly same as the views in the image. So now we will create this button as shown in the image. Because the button is placed vertically, we will not include that button inside this linear layout where we have included the +91 text and the input edit text. We will include that button outside this linear layout. Here add a button here. Width wrap content, height wrap content, text, get OTP. We'll include this text into string.xml. Alt plus Enter. Enter. OK. Now text color white, text size 17 sp, text style bold. Close the button. Now the button is created, but it is not looking like this button as shown in the image. So we will customize this button. Right click on drawable, click new, click on drawable resource file, give the name OTP_button. First add item, then add shape. Here give the shape rectangle. To give the color to the button, use solid and give the app color. Now to give the radius to the corners, we will use corners radius and we'll give the radius of 8 dp. We'll use the size and we'll give the width to 90 dp. So the background is created. We will add this background to this button, OTP button. Now that we have this customized button, but as you can see the color has not changed. Our button color is this blue app color, but it is some violet color. If this happens with you also, then here in this project folder inside this values, click on this themes.xml and here change the material 3 to app compact. Same for this night version also. The color has changed. Now we want that when we click on this button, a progress bar should visible in the place of this button until the process completes in background. So we'll create a progress bar in the same place where the button is located. And we know that we use frame layout to overlap the views on top of each other. So let's create a frame layout after this linear layout. Give the width wrap content and height wrap content. Now include this button inside the frame layout. Below this button, let's create a progress bar. Wrap content, wrap content. Now here you cannot see the progress bar, but we have created. This is because the progress bar is lied below this button. So we will make the visibility of this button to gone. So that we can see the progress bar, but we want that by default the visibility of progress bar should be gone and the button should be visible. Therefore we will cut this property from here and we will include this property in the progress bar. As you can see in this image, after this button we have the logo image. So we will add the logo image after this frame layout. Using image view, we will give the width 300 dp and the height 300 dp, and here we will provide our logo image, but we don't have our logo image in our drawable folder. So we will paste the logo image from our folder where it is located. So this is the image we will copy and paste in our project. So copy this image, and now to paste it, right click on drawable and then click on paste. Click OK. I want to change the name of this image to black_transparent. Click OK. Now we'll include that image in our image view. We'll use src and we'll type black transparent. Here is our image. We can see that our image is included. So this is how we created our interface for login screen. Now we will code its working in Java file. For that we will provide some IDs to the views which we will be using in the Java file. So we will be using this edit text. So here we will give ID, number edit text, number edit text, and then we will use this button. So we will give the ID here, OTP button, and we will give the ID to this progress bar, progress bar. So now that we have provided IDs, let's code in Java. So here in this Java file we will first define the views which we will be using. First is edit text, number edit text, then button, OTP button, and then progress bar. Now we will find their IDs here. Number edit text is equal to find view by ID r.id. number edit text. OTP button is equal to find view by ID r.id. OTP button. Progress bar equal to find view by ID r.id. progress bar. Now we will create a button click event here for this OTP button. OTP button dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. Now inside this on click method, when the button is clicked, we want that the visibility of this OTP button should be gone. So we will make OTP button dot set visibility gone, and the visibility of progress bar should be visible. Progress bar dot set visibility visible. Then we will check the condition that if there is an input in edit text or not. To check it, we will create an if condition. Inside this bracket, we will pass the condition number edit text dot get text dot to string dot is empty. Now this condition will get true if there is any input into the edit text. If there is no input, means that this condition is false. If this condition is false, we will set an else condition here. So inside this else, we will make a toast message, and the message is please enter the number. And here we will make the visibility of OTP button to visible, and the visibility of progress bar to gone. Now if this condition gets true, means there is some input in the edit text. We know that every mobile number has a length of 10, so we will check that condition. For that we will add a if condition. Inside this bracket we will give the condition. So now this condition will check that if the length of the input is 10 or not. If it is greater than or less than 10, then this condition will get false. And if this condition get false, we will set an else condition. And inside this else, we will make a toast message which will be invalid number. And here we will set the visibility of OTP button to visible, and the visibility of progress bar to gone. And now if this condition gets true, means that the length of the input number is 10, then we want that the user must redirect to OTP verification activity. To change the activity from login activity to OTP verification activity, we will create an intent. Now if this condition gets true, we want that the user should redirect to the next activity. For that we will create a new activity. To create activity, go to this Java folder and right click on this folder, and in new go to activity and select the empty view activity and give the name of our activity OTP verification activity. Click on finish and the new activity is created. So inside this if condition, we will redirect our user to next activity. For that we will create an intent. Intent OTP intent equal to new intent, and inside this bracket we will pass two parameters. First is the current activity, which is login activity dot this, and the next parameter is next activity, which is OTP verification activity. Now using start activity, we will start the activity, and here inside this bracket we will pass the intent OTP intent. Here also we will set the visibility of OTP button to visible, and the visibility of progress bar to gone. Now that we have created our code, we will take an overview of it. So we have first defined our views which we will be using here, and then we have finded their ID using find view by ID, and then we have created a on click listener. So whenever the button is clicked, this on click method will get called, and as soon as this method get called, the visibility of the button will be gone and the progress bar will be visible until the process completes. and then we have set a condition that if the input number is not empty. If it is empty, we have given this else condition, inside which we have created a toast message which will toast a message, please enter the number, and here the visibility of OTP button will be visible and the progress bar visibility will be gone. Now when this condition gets true, means there is some input, we will check another condition that the length of the input is 10. If it is not 10, we will toast a message invalid number, and if the length of the input is 10, then we will redirect our user from this login activity to OTP verification activity. Now let's run the project. Here you can see the device is connected. Now let's run it. Now here you can see the login interface. You can see this edit text here. If you don't include any number into this edit text and then click on get OTP, we can see the message, please enter the number. And if we enter some number which is invalid and then click on get OTP, it shows invalid number. And if we enter some valid number and then click on get OTP, we redirect to the next activity. So this is how we created our login screen. In the next video, we will continue with our OTP verification based login system and create a OTP verification screen.